When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand up. This is where we are now, on the topic that you'll get to know very soon. This is Ladies Crib. And I have beautiful, wonderful guests in the house. You do not want to miss this for anything. So I will want to introduce my guests, but before I do that, the topic for today's conversation is: should a woman retain her surname after marriage? Welcoming my guests, to my left, I have Motunrayo. Motunrayo, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And also, to my far left, I have Precious D. Precious D, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And I also have father to my left, Mr. Buchi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you. Yes, the topic, once more, is: should a woman retain her surname after marriage? I want to start with Motunrayo.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Motunrayo. To me, about the issue of a lady changing her name to her husband's name after getting married or so, I believe it's meant to be a mutual agreement between the both partners. I cannot just say I just want to decide I want to use my husband's name. At the same time, if my husband did not agree with me to use my father's name, what am I to disagree? I just feel like it's a mutual, you know.
Okay, so it has to be an agreement.
Yes.
So you are indifferent about it. You're not particular.
No, at all.
Okay. Let's hear from Precious D. What do you think about it?
Good afternoon, everyone. You know, this is actually optional. It is not compulsory. You are changing name or not is not compulsory. It's an understanding between the husband and the wife. Actually, I'm not married, so I do not have any experience.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
So it is an agreement between the two parties.
So you're also not saying particularly that, the woman has to or does not have to. You're saying once they have an agreement, it is fine. Okay, yeah. That is okay. Let me hear from the man in the house, the man of the house. Okay.
Okay, thank you, LIPSCANE. I have quite a different opinion from
Interesting.
Motunrayo and
Interesting.
Precious. Yeah. Okay, so first of it is that why are we going to enter into a relationship that you're not proud to carry my name or carry my personality? That's the first question. Okay, so before I came in, I decided to check through the scriptures, and I realized that Genesis 2:24 and Matthew 19:5.
Preach on.
It means that we have both the Old Testament and New Testament that agrees on something, and it says, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to the wife. So Genesis said so, the beginning of the scripture. Okay. Matthew also said so, the dispensation, the beginning of the new dispensation. So it means that when husband and wife comes together, they exchange who they are supposed to be for who they are gonna be. So if they are exchanging who they are supposed to be for the new day, it means that it would reflect on whatsoever they do, their personality. So for instance, you say Mr. and Mrs.
Okay.
So it's not going to be Mr. and Miss. So if the question now is, should a woman?
Yes.
So I feel that's how it's supposed to be, because we have cultural values too that we need to uphold. Okay.
Let me still hold on to what you said. Okay. You're speaking from the religious angle, Christianity to be precise. Yeah. Okay. Do you also know that when we talk about, if we are to be on that same level, then I recently got to know that the Islamic rules is different. I recently got to know that, as a matter of fact, it is important for you to bear your surname. Your surname, your father's name, even after marriage. I was shocked because this is, Islam. This is Islam. Okay. I was thinking that they are this, of course, they are very submissive and all that, but I was thinking that they would have to bear their husband's name. But the Quran, 33 verse 5, I don't know how if it's 5 verse, but 33 5. Okay. So I would not want to, you know, for time's sake and all that, but it goes straight to the point by saying that in fact, as a matter of fact, you should not bear another name or a person's name who does not belong to your blood, who is not connected to you, you know, by blood. So you should not bear that person's name. So if you're looking at it from this religious aspect, you know that that's one of the reasons I actually wanted this to be within the scope of Nigeria, and also within the scope of, let me say, African traditional religion, because if I have to put all these whole things together, we will sleep here, trust me. So what do you think about these? I know you're not a Muslim, you might not have, so I'm not putting it to you, but I'm saying in the situation, for instance, where you're married to a Muslim, and in her own religion, it's not accepted for her to change her name.
Thank you so much for the question, and I would like to reiterate that if we're talking about this Muslim religion that states that nobody should bear a name that is not your bloodline name, and so we have religious people, Muslims in particular, around us, and we get to know that once they get married, their wife bears their name. So does this practically means that they are against what they are preaching?
Well, I wouldn't want to go into that, like I said earlier.
One. So I just want you to hold that. Understand? Then two, let's talk about our culture. We obviously know that the husband is the head of the house. And so if you are submitted to me, being submissive has to do with you allowing what I do or what I say, you being submissive, you being obedient. Now, if all of these things are out in play, it means that now this should not even be a matter of contest. Would you bear my name or not? Well, it's your choice. But I feel that to back it up properly, I feel that while it is your choice, you should also do the right thing.
Thank you so much. Let me go back.
Sorry, and is there a problem with a lady bearing her father's name and your own name too?
So if we have, for instance, Motunrayo, tell me, how do you write your name?
There's always a compound, make it a compound name.
So you make it a compound name.
Motunrayo.
I can make it Motunrayo, then husband's name.
Motunrayo, your father's name.
I can bear my name, my father's name, then my husband's name.
Or
I can make it my husband's name or my father's name. It's still the same thing.
Well,
is there a problem with that?
That depends on what your husband would like. But for me, I don't have any issue because I'm a very liberal person. But however, I feel that if you bear your father's name, then you are trying to tell me that your dad is still responsible for you.
Are you trying to tell me that all the old identity that I've had all my life, I have to change everything?
This is exactly what I was going to. You know, for a person who has made so much, of course, I'm in the media, I'm Gift Ambrose. Imagine I get married to somebody who is Henry, and then I have to probably have worked all through my life, you know, in the media, and then because there are many reasons people change their names. The first one is for status. I mean, especially women. Oh, I'm a married woman, you know, you want to change the name, so it's for respect and status. Then the second one is because you want to have probably documentation. First, you want to travel out, and then you don't want to have different names from your kids. I mean, from you understand? You have to have a uniformed name. And then the third one is just what she said. You've walked all through your life with a particular name, probably a writer or something. So how do you want your wife? Is it fair enough that you allow your wife to let this go down the drain?
Now the problem is you feel I would go back home and say to my wife that today you must change your name. No. All right, so I don't expect to bring that to the table. If you're submissive enough, you feel like, okay, I want to do everything that will make this home work. Now, if you're coming to tell me that, no, that depends on how you even say it to me.
But sorry, Mr. Sorry, I'm so sorry to cut you off. Mr. Buchi, are you trying to tell me that Omotola Ikehinde Jolade? Are you trying to tell me that she's not
she's not submissive. Now don't forget
she
that
bears her father's name and her husband's name together.
Don't forget that, just like I said, one, we cannot assume what is happening in a man's home. Looking at it from afar.
From afar, yes.
Now secondary is that we don't know the agreements they must have come into for her to be able to infuse her father's name into her name. But however, I realized that when I wanted to pick up my international passport and my wife, I realized that one of the things they asked us to do was a change of name, because when I got married, I didn't lord it over my wife to change. I don't, just like I said, I'm a liberal person.
Yes.
Now, so we wanted to get an international passport, and they said that if she does not change the name, because the name has to tally up with the name
documentation process, yes,
certificate,
exactly,
and the name on our wedding certificate bears Mr. and Mrs. blah blah blah. Do you understand?
I get it.
Now, so she's gonna have issues. She will. She will. Now, they could not issue the passport because the names were different.
Okay,
so they asked us to go do
affidavit and all that. Okay, Precious, I want to hear from you. You have something to say.
Okay, first of all, your name is your first identity.
True.
I am Precious David. That is my first identity. That is who Precious is. Now, let's look into Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Thank you.
Ngozi is our name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Okonjo-Iweala. Now, Okonjo is our father's name.
Okay.
Now,
That's the first
the
thing
third is the husband's name.
Iweala.
Ngozi or Okonjo-Iweala. The parents are both lecturers at UI. So she tried to maintain that. So I think it is an agreement between the husband and her. Changing of name shouldn't be a problem.
We have lots of people like that. We have Mercy Johnson Okoje.
Thank you, Mercy Johnson.
Now the thing is this:
she's bearing her father's name.
As much as I want to be neutral, because of course this is a show where I have to be neutral, I still have my stance in the sense that once I'm ready to get married, my name will have to be there, because I've worked all through. I'm very particular about work, and other things. So I feel like because of the patriarchy, we are a people that practice patriarchy in this part of the world. So that's the reason why all this is happening. However, I want to ask you, as a father, would you? You're a successful man. You're a big businessman. Would you not want your daughter to have and she's your only child? Remember, you have a daughter who's your only child. You understand? Would you not want her to take the family name?
All right. Yes. I love that. Left to her, depends on her.
Left to you, I'm putting it to you.
Now, you're putting it to me.
Yes.
And I want to ask you a question that might probably shed light.
Okay.
Now, imagine you have a female daughter, of course, a female girl, and she just walks up to you and say, "Mom, I noticed that when people call you outside, they mention your name and your dad's name before my dad's name."
Okay.
Why?
Okay, but then I don't see it. I don't see it as an issue. So I'll say yes. That's because my dad is important to me in the sense. Of course, my husband is important, but the family name, I have to carry it. And you see, this is one of the reasons why women are not entitled to properties from their family. That's one of the reasons. Somehow, because you're going to marry. They're going to say, "We'll marry you off to another family." So you automatically don't have a right in the properties of your father or your parents. So
but because you want to keep the
property. It's not. I'm just using property as an example. It's not about property, right? I'm just using that as an example. You don't even have a say in your family house because you will be married off. They see you like you just
you're gone.
You understand what I'm saying? So I will sit her down and explain to her and say, "See, the reason I'm taking my father's name is not because your father is not important to me or my husband. It's because I need to keep the name. And if she wants to keep the name also, that's my husband's name when she gets married, that's perfect. So I'm still putting it to you.
Good.
How would you feel?"
All right. Of course, there is no, like I said, I'm a liberal person.
Okay.
So if my daughter wants to take my name, fine, left to her. You see, we need to come to a mutual understanding.
Are you saying left to her? Are you trying to tell us that your daughter should not be submissive to her husband too?
Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, just like I said that I'm a liberal person. Now, what do we have in our home? How do we talk to ourselves in our home? Now, if my daughter is lording it over the husband, that does not make any sense. Now, she wants to go on with the posterity in the name and everything. But how are you bringing this? How are you submitting your point of view to your husband? Now, if you're going home and you're saying, "No, because of the achievement my dad has, and I need to, or what I have worked over, because of the things that I have achieved in my career, I need to keep my name." One, I'm telling my husband that you've not done enough.
No, it's not that. Let's remove the achievement out of it.
Okay.
Let's assume I just want to keep my daddy's name.
You just like.
It's not about achievement now because you are taking.
Wait, are you saying that there is a law that buttresses this up?
What?
That
What
we
choice
should
is
be-
Don't worry about
You know
that.
our
Don't worry
husband's
about that.
name.
Don't worry about
This is
the
what-
law. Don't worry about the legal part of
no,
it.
you don't-
We will have
like it's
we'll have to
personal.
bring a legal advisor or a lawyer to this matter so that we can all. But I want to ask a simple question, a very simple question.
Alright.
But then.
I guess you guys are putting me on the spot.
But
like,
then,
you're not even asking that
I just want a one. I just
Yeah.
want a one-worded. Will you think that a woman who does not accept to remove her family name is disrespectful?
No, no.
Okay.
I just want to know
well, just like I said, and let me reiterate it again. I am a very liberal and understanding person.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not just going to bring it to the table. Do you want to bear my name? It sounds demeaning.
Okay.
It sounds
You
like
don't
I
need
don't.
to
I just want to hear just a one-worded
You don't
answer.
even need
No
to ask.
or yes. Will you think she's disrespectful?
Obviously.
Okay, then.
That's what
Like,
she said.
Okay, then you don't have. Do you think she's disrespectful?
No, not at all.
Well, how about you?
She's not.
All right then. So we need to go for a break right now. When we come back, we will be having a lawyer in the house.
To bring this event to your doorsteps. Join us always and everywhere around the world on ITVS for breaking news, scintillating programs. We are limitless. We are boundless. For your comfort, studio session, Zoom meetings, live streaming of events, equipment rented, and others. ITVS is your preferred home. Welcome on board. Yes.
Welcome back from that break. It is still Ladies Crib, and yes, in the house we have two additional people to come and shed more light on this. With me, on my immediate left, I have Bobbits. Bobbits, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. I think I've been in the studio and I've had a lot, and I think it's time to chip into it. So I'm here.
Okay.
I'm in the studio.
Okay, and I have Barrister, a lawyer in the house to shed more light on this and give us legal advice and let us know what we do not know. So I have Barrister Toluwa. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so you've listened to the question and all that and the argument. I want you to give us an insight into all of that.
Okay, I think I've enjoyed the argument, and it's an argument that has been on for some time. But to burst the bubbles, there's no explicit provision in the law that says that a woman has to change her surname upon marriage.
Okay.
There's no explicit provision. It's just I would call it a presumption of law, which has come to stay with us from customs. Now, when you talk about law, there's a jurisprudence of law that comes to play, that you pick law, you formulate law from the customs of the people. Now, if you look at our side, we're a man-dominating kind of society, whereby you say that once you get married, the next thing is that, in fact, once you say you have changed your surname, it's ordinarily tells somebody that you are married.
Yes.
Even when you don't put on ring.
Yes.
When you don't put on any other thing, it automatically tells them that you are married. So that's the presumption by which everybody works with, that once you are married, then it is assumed that you should have a change of name immediately.
Okay.
So it's a presumption of law which we've seen instances, and I've heard from other presenters that they mentioned it, that there are instances of people that have decided to retain their surname, or people that have even decided to just do a compound name, and they are doing well.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. Briefly, I just want you to know, I want to know your own take. He has said it all, but I will just have to...
He has said something about the law, and I'm sure he's still going to go further on what's said. Like, when I was in the studio and things that I've been hearing and we've been talking about, I just have a few points. Now, when it comes to, I heard earlier that we were talking about, if your daughter gets married. Okay, now, my first point is, if you're not married yet, you might not feel what people are feeling. And at the same time, before you get married, there are people that, when you fall in love, things change. Your mentality sometimes change about the way you feel about your partner or whatever. Now, let me start with the daughter part. I have a daughter. Now, there's no way on earth that my daughter will be able to convince me or convince herself that she will not change her name. No. In my own lineage, it has not happened before my great grandfather has never happened. So it can never happen in my own.
That's the place of the custom.
I know you're still going to go to that place of custom.
I'm expecting your own take.
Do you understand?
Yes.
My own daughter can never go there. Now that's one point which I have to just we have one personal. My other host guest earlier was not able to, maybe he said he's Libra. Me, I'm not Libra. Me, I'm straightforward person. Okay, my daughter can never go through that route. Yeah, that's one. Then two is the fact that now I know my barrister will still go through that route of tradition. I will let him deal with that tradition part. But another point that we need to know is even when you go into religion, and the part of the world that we are, which is Africa, particularly Nigeria, we need to know that we accept that the man is dead of the house. Now, earlier I had the fact whereby you are saying some people have a compound name, and you made example. What do you make? You made example of
Mercy Johnson.
Now, some people do that for a reason with consent with their husband, and these are part of the reason. It might be political, it might be career, and there's proper understanding. Let me give you an example. Obasanjo's daughter kept her name for a very long time before changing because that was political. Now, some people do it. An actress, now, for example, if I'm an actress and you know me as Tubos and I get married, I'm a woman, they might be understanding, and my husband will understand the fact that I need to know that these people we are talking about, you never know the consent they have with their husband.
Yes.
At the long run, they're not saying, okay, this is where you make your money, let me just allow you to do that. So we need to be careful and things you don't know what is going on. And this thing we are talking about, you only mentioned two names out of people that you mentioned over millions of names.
There are lots of people. There are lots of people.
But the proportion is more than if you have like 5% of people doing that, we have over 90% of people changing.
I know that. Of course. But Precious, let me ask you this. So if you have a husband, if you're to get married, and then the man insists that you're not going to add your husband's name, your father's name to that, what's going to happen? Are you going to break the relationship or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I have to agree.
Oh, you have to agree.
It's not there's a disagreement between the two parties that no, you don't have to add the name. You have to submit. You know what? Name or no name, adding name or not, it has nothing to do with experience. We are all literate here. Do you understand? We are all literate.
I know.
And adding name or not, that was then. It happens then. But right now, we are both literate. We need to sit together. We need to understand ourselves. Okay, I do not have to add this. I have to add this. So it has to come to an agreement. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, no or yes.
Okay, so it still means you're going along with. That's good to know. Let's hear from.
If I will add something, because you mentioned the behavior of the daughter.
Yes.
The definition of marriage in law is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others. Which means that is the man and the woman. And permit me to also just make reference from the Holy Book, the scriptures, is that therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one. So marriage, it's a family on its own. There shouldn't be a tie of one family coming or from the woman or from the man. The name is still there, but it's the man that is now representing that new family.
I say a screen order. It's my name. She came to my daughter my name. So I can decide that she cannot have my name.
It now depends when your daughter marries. It's not your decision to make for her again.
Yes.
No. What I'm saying is the name. You know when you're saying the name, she doesn't want to change it. I was the one that gave her the name in the first place. Yes. So when you said excluding others, it is my name. It is my father's name. My father passed the name down to me. So if you want to know my name, go and look for an evidence for you to have my name to go to your husband. Then sorry, let me quickly mention this. Along the line, I was listening to the conversation on the program whereby someone said the name I built before I get married. You built the name for 30 years. You're still going around 70 years old. So the 30 years compared to 70 years.
But the 70 years is in between.
And that's what I'm saying. The name is just big for just 30 or 25 years. I was
achievement between that 30 years can actually take a very long way.
You still have 70 years old.
The 70 years is domestic. The 70 years is domestic.
The achievement you made that time is
okay. I just want to ask something.
Let me just add that on that it's about understanding is very key.
Yeah.
Because this issue has been one or two things that have caused divorce in some marriages, whereby the woman is taken to have ego, have so many things. So understanding is very key, and you need to understand what's the body gesture of the man. So that you know that this is the family, this is the culture. I need to respect it. We are Yorubas. This is our society. Okay. I've not heard it again. If you are still bearing your father's name, they call it Dali Moshu.
Okay. Thank you. Just quick one. I just want a yes or no. I mean, a yes or no, or just a very simple within 30 seconds. Yes. So, what happens to the property if the woman either bears the husband's name together with her father's name, or does not even bear, because there are situations when the woman does not even want to bear the husband's name at all? What happens to the property sharing? I mean, in case there is a divorce or something of such.
Well, in case there is a divorce, I think for Nigeria is different from what we hear about abroad.
Okay.
For Nigeria, if the man dies without leaving a will, it becomes an issue of if there is a legal document to show that you were both married legally, then the wife has a right to it.
So if there's a document but there's no name, what happens? There's no name.
If there's
yes.
No. A document will show that you both contracted marriage.
Okay, so that's so it doesn't really affect it.
Because if he dies intestate, then the wife, after that the children, after the children, then the relative.
Wow.
But in some customs, you can have it differently.
Okay.
In some customs, when it comes to when it dies intestate. So the best thing is, if the man loves you, if it sees that he's about to die, let him put it in a will.
Me, I'm a bit indifferent quickly. I'm a bit indifferent about that. In the sense that, me, when I was getting married, I had a program in mind that there's no divorce.
10 seconds, please.
So, all this one, like I said, I'm a straightforward. I plan not to get divorced because getting divorced is attached on the western. Do you say western part? Yeah, but on our side, like you said, it's a bit different. But you just have to.
But you know what? Wait,
we're running out of time already.
Seconds. All I'm saying is, it is not compulsory.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So it's optional.
Okay.
You don't have to say, okay, finally I have to do this, I have to do that. No.
It is optional.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is where we wrap up the show, the program. Ladies Creep. And we wanted to join us same time, same station. It is ITVS, it is Ladies Creep. I am your host, Gift Ambrose. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to Immaculate Television, ITVS. Our society is shaped by events here and there. Here on Immaculate TV, ITVS, we are always on hand to bring this event to your doorsteps. Join us always and everywhere around the world on ITVS for breaking news, scintillating programs. We are limitless, we are boundless. For your comfort, studio session, Zoom meetings, live streaming of events, equipment rented, and others, ITVS is your preferred home. Welcome on board.